Good day everyone, I'm Gerald, and this is my first impressions review of the Royal Enfield Meteor 350. I made this video as a public service to those considering to get a Meteor or have the Meteor in their shortlist. I hope to help these people in their purchase decision. I've been sharing a few videos on YouTube, but they are all just personal riding footage that I thought of sharing. I also uploaded a very short 45-second review video which surprisingly got a lot of views. That inspired me to create this longer first impressions video. There are quite a few English reviews out there on YouTube, but most are by media or influencers who just borrowed the bike for a few weeks or did a test ride for a day. This video is a real owner's point of view, someone who has spent his hard-earned money on the bike and is not sponsored or paid to do a review. But first, a couple of disclaimers. I am by no means an expert motorcyclist. I'm a new rider with about 1,500 kilometers of total riding experience. I have ridden the Meteor for only about 800 kilometers at the time of this video. Also, this video is not about features and specs. There's a lot of that on YouTube already. What I'm offering in this video is an owner's experience and insight, and the perspective of a mid-40s new rider. With that out of the way, on to the first impressions review. I'd like to cover a few aspects about this bike, and I'll go through them one by one. First, let's talk design. To me, the Meteor is very aesthetically pleasing. It has a simple, logical, classic and uncluttered styling. I watched the RE North America launch video of the Meteor, where they talked about the Meteor's development story. I highly recommend you watch that video to get an appreciation of the considerable efforts and the amount of thinking the designers have given to this bike. What I don't like design-wise is the pillion backrest. I feel it interrupts the lines of the bike and sticks out like a sore thumb. Yes, I got the Stellar variant, mainly because I like the chrome accents and exhaust, so the backrest was really a compromise for me. I plan to swap out the backrest with a regular pillion handle as soon as the parts become available. The fueling is smooth, linear, and relaxed. It's very forgiving to inexperienced riders who are still learning on the throttle. It definitely won't rip your arms off when you accidentally twist the throttle too hard. Now about the gearing, it's very well spaced. I've got no problems accelerating in second gear from a speed bump, and it's very forgiving for being too slow for the gear I'm in. Now, I did experience some false neutrals, and I'm still experiencing it right now, but it could be just my fault. Also, I noticed that it seemed to be smoother after the first oil change, or it could be all in my head. Now let's talk about power and torque. The torque is really enjoyable. You can definitely feel the grunt coming from its long stroke piston. Acceleration from low RPMs is a breeze and won't stress the engine at all. That said, from a stoplight, it can't keep up with faster scooters. It's definitely no match for something like an Aerox. But it's really not about that. Those looking for breakneck acceleration are missing the point. This bike is all about relaxed, easy cruising. Riding position. We all know that the Meteor has an easy and relaxed riding triangle, because it's a cruiser after all. But I can't stress enough how important that is for new riders. Although, I have to say that the handlebars are a tad out of reach for me. I am 5 feet 7 inches tall, and when I am seated straight, my arms are stretched all the way with my elbows locked. If I want my arms more relaxed, I have to lean forward slightly. Now, the seat height is indeed quite low, but because the seat padding is wide, it causes my legs to open, and I ended up very slightly tiptoeing. The seat foam has just the right firmness. I don't experience any fatigue even after riding for an hour. I would say the handling is easy, though the weight of the Meteor takes some getting used to, especially at very low speeds, at a standstill, and even when I try to put it on and off the center stand. Now everyone's raving about the lack of vibration. Yes, it's almost non-existent, My moped with a much smaller engine vibrated more. And I guess that's partly the reason why I felt the Meteor was luxurious the first few days I rode it. Though I did notice some vibration creeping around at around 4,500 RPM or higher. Now this is just an estimate because the Meteor has no tachometer. In my experience, the best speeds for shifting are 25 to second gear, 35 to third, and 50 to fourth gear. If you shift this way, you won't feel the vibration at high RPMs. The brakes, I would say, are sufficient. It may feel as if it's weak at first, but it helps new riders modulate the right lever. I did have a concern with the rear brakes on my bike because they were squeaking while riding, even if the brakes are not applied. This happened around the first 500 kilometers. I asked the service center mechanic about this, and he said it will go away. The brakes were probably just breaking in. I do experience a faint squeaking sound up until now at 800 kilometers. Finally, let's talk about one of my favorite things about the Meteor, the sound. It's just the right volume for road presence and fun factor, but not obnoxiously loud. I love the deep thump sound during acceleration, during engine braking, and even at idle. It's hard to explain, but the exhaust sounds really high quality and classy. I'm guessing RE engineers really took time to get the sound right. It definitely doesn't sound like a cheap open can exhaust. Well, that's about it for my first impressions review. I hope you like it, and do let me know in the comment sections if you have questions or if there's anything I missed. In the future, I hope to do a full review and other reviews like why I chose the Meteor, top things I like and top things I dislike, long-term ownership, and so on. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you again in my next video.